The reveal of Byleth as the last DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate First Fighters Pass left some fans in a state of frustration and disappointment, being that Byleth is another Fire Emblem character, thus being viewed as a wasted addition to the roster that could have gone to another character with more individuality. Personally, I don't mind the inclusion of Byleth in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but having them revealed as the 5th and final DLC character of Fighter Pass 1 was probably not the best decision on the developer's end. However, with the confirmation of Fighter Pass Volume 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has 6 more chances to make up to the fans with even more DLC fighters that will be released throughout 2020 and all the way to the end of December 2021. As you can tell from the title of this video, I'll be sharing my top 6 predictions for Fighter Pass Volume 2, meaning this isn't going to be a wish list of what characters I want to be in the game, but an estimated guess of what characters I think the developers will choose based on the Smash series' track record. Because when you look at 99% of the roster for Super Smash Bros., they all originate from Japan, with the exception of Banjo and Kazooie. So, keep that in mind when thinking about the potential DLC fighters coming soon. And with that being said, let's get on with the countdown. Drumming in at number 6 is Rilla Boom from Pokemon Sword and Shield. If Donkey Kong and Mother Nature to conceive a child, Rilla Boom would be the outcome. Now aside from Fire Emblem, Smash also loves to bring in more Pokemon fighters, and based on the latest Pokemon combatants, that being Greninja from X and Y, and Incineroar from Sun and Moon, there seems to be a trend in getting the final evolution of starting Pokemon for the most recent games into Smash. Also with Greninja being a Water-type Pokemon and Incineroar being a Fire-type Pokemon, it would make sense that the developers would come full circle with including a Grass-type Pokemon to the roster. Rilla Boom has a unique fighting style where by drumming, Rilla Boom can tap into the power of its special tree stump and the roots of the stump follow the direction of drumming in battle. Plus, with the upcoming Isle of Armor DLC expansion for Sword and Shield, Rilla Boom will gain a Gigantamax form, which is one of the new gameplay features in Sword and Shield that could easily act as Rilla Boom's final smash. In addition, with the Isle of Armor set to release around June 2020, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rilla Boom revealed as the first DLC character for Volume 2 as cross-motion for the Sword and Shield expansion, as well as being positioned as the safe choice to kick off the point of the new wave of DLC fighters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Hey, how about a wager? If Rilla Boom doesn't make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'll shove a banana up my... Emerging from the shadows at number 5 is Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series. Since 1988, Ryu Hayabusa has arguably been held as the most iconic ninja in gaming, right beside Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Ryu's gaming legacy as a character is quite an interesting one, with the Ninja Gaiden series starting off as a side-scrolling action platformer to being rebooted as a blood-drenched hack-and-slasher that managed to maintain the series' focus on high and unforgiving difficulty, as well as Ryu being a prominent fighter within the Dead or Alive series, and was even referenced in Halo 3 of all games. With that being said, Ryu is more than just your average ninja. Turns out he's a demon-human hybrid whose ancestors drew blood from various evil deities. And aside from the standard ninja weapons Ryu wields such as his signature dragon sword, Ryu can also use Ninpo magic, which are the spiritual and mystical arts of the ninja granting the user power of various elements. Furthermore, Ninja Gaiden's history with Nintendo runs deep, with the console version of the 1998 original game releasing exclusively on the NES. Of course, this doesn't automatically guarantee that Ryu will make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but I'm sure that the name Hayabusa has come across Sakurai's desk once or twice when developing the Smash games. Now I'm just left to wonder if Ryu Hayabusa does end up in Ultimate, how would the Smash announcer pronounce his name knowing that there's another Ryu in the game? Would it sound like Ryu or Ryu? Ryu Hayabusa. Rising from the livestream at number 4 is Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Highly ranked as one of the best video game villains of all time, Sephiroth will make a strong addition to the Smash roster with his immense physical prowess and ridiculously long sword, the Masamune. Also, I think Fighter Pass Volume 2 will at most have one iconic gaming villain to balance out the scale of morality amongst the future DLC. Great villains are hard to come by in games, and I appreciated when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate recognized this. Honestly, I would have given the villain spot to Wesker from the Resident Evil series, but seeing that he's already a spirit in Ultimate, I think his chances of joining the roster have dropped significantly. Plus, with the extreme lack of Final Fantasy music and spirits available in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's entirely possible the developers are holding back on the Final Fantasy content till the reveal of another Final Fantasy rep, that being Sephiroth. I mean, just imagine having a one-winged angel play in the background during a match on Final Destination. F***ing gasmic. Dashing in at number 3 is Tracer from Overwatch. The only non-Japanese created character on this list, Tracer would make for a great representative for Blizzard Entertainment as a whole, being that they're arguably one of the most impactful gaming companies in the industry. Now, why choose an Overwatch character as opposed to characters from Blizzard's more popular IPs such as Diablo, Warcraft, and Starcraft? Well, to put it plainly, I think the Overwatch cast is simply more memorable/likable compared to other characters from any other Blizzard IP. and that Overwatch does a better job at being more inclusive as a game compared to Blizzard's other works due to the game's diverse roster, rich lore, and simplistic gameplay. Now maybe this is recency bias in effect, but I gotta call it like I see it. Also, I predict we'll at least see one female character in Fighter Pass Volume 2, and since the release of Overwatch, Tracer has climbed the ranks as one of the most recognizable heroines in gaming, for better and for worse. Raging in at number 2 is Nero from the Devil May Cry series. Now I know what you're thinking.
DMLX, how could you possibly predict Nero over Dante, who's been the main protagonist of the DMC series since day one?
2 words. Blame Capcom. Don't get me wrong, I prefer Dante over Nero, as I assume many other DMC fans do as well. I mean, anyone that can dance like the King of Pop is cool in my book. But with the way the most recent games have been turning out, it seems Capcom is pushing Nero to be the main focus of the series. Just look at who's front and center of the box art for both DMC4 and DMC5. It's Nero. Thus, it's entirely possible Nero snatches up an invitation to join Smash over Dante. And if that were to happen, there would probably be a good amount of DMC fans disappointed by this reveal, but excited nonetheless that DMC is being represented in Smash. Hopping in at number 1 is Frogger from the Frogger series. Frogger is one of the most popular games to be released in the early 80s, a game with a simple objective of guiding a frog to each of the empty frog homes at the top of the screen. Even though Frogger isn't relevant now, that hasn't stopped Smash from including OG characters from times gaming past, such as Mr. Game & Watch, Duck Hunt, Rob, and of course, Pac-Man. The reveal of Frogger joining the Smash roster would be a choice that many fans probably wouldn't see coming, but at the same time be ecstatic to have another classic gaming icon a part of the Smash family. In terms of character design, I'd like to see Smash developers adapt Frogger's GameCube era appearance with a fresh coat of paint. Trust me, you don't want Frogger looking like the Great Quest Frogger. That shit will give you nightmares. So let me just think in the comments down below about my predictions for Fighter Pass Volume 2, and what are your predictions for the DLC? If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, it really helps me out. Subscribe for more content from me on Super Smash Bros. and other games in general. I'm DMLX. I'll see you in the future.